Good afternoon. My name is Monique Copeland. Welcome to my artifact tracking sheet presentation. This is week 5, and my team and I, Team 3, along with Victoria and Leah, we have been working in our data meeting 2 to collect artifacts using the triangulation of data method. According to Venables, triangulating data simply means reviewing additional data with the intent of making clearer connections among 3 items: our original source of data and the information we extracted from it. Number 2, our instructional strategies. And number 3, our students' performances. Simply put, triangulation of data is a valuable and reliable picture of students' achievement. The rationale behind our artifact collection. As a team, we chose to use Victoria's data, her 3rd grade data, because she's still in the classroom and it would be more meaningful for her to have insight from our team meetings for teaching the skill main idea next school year. We decided to look at the first exploratory question, which is, what are the misconceptions of the 35 students, 79.55%, not understanding the main idea of informational text, or the standard RI 3.2, with the most amount of below students? So essentially, the main idea of students had a misconception of the main idea of informational text. The majority of them struggled with that standard on the end of the year test. So in looking at artifacts, we definitely decided to take the different measures of 3rd graders understanding main idea of informational text according to Brookhart 2009. So we're going to look at different measures of 3rd graders understanding of main idea and informational text. So we're going to look at student-related learning gaps and teacher-related instructional gap artifacts. And I'll get more into that in a little bit. Here's our artifact tracking sheet. As a team, we met on Google Hangout, and Victoria prepared most of the student-related artifacts, like the test item analysis of reading diagnostic, which was a pretest done at the end of August, and you hear more about that in our multimedia group presentation. She also presented to us what student work, like an informal assignment the students did called Amazing Bird Nest, Main Idea and Details. It was a Unit 2 assignment done around November, so about 2 or 3 months after the pretest. And then Leah and I brought some artifacts that could be considered, being that this is a summer course. We don't actually have actual artifacts, but we did provide some templates that could be used by the teacher. For instance, and you'll see me talk more in detail in the next couple of slides about it, but I just want to quickly go over an overview. You see here the main idea lesson calendar, which is 1, 2, 3 in the 4th box, and a main idea lesson reflection, which will be done by the teacher, as well as creating flexible small groups based on students' understanding of the main idea, and that's monitored through the different activities that a teacher facilitates with the students. So in the next couple of slides, I'm going to talk about the artifacts that I contributed to the meeting to support Victoria's main idea data. Artifact number 1. In future lessons during next school year, it would be important for Victoria and other teachers to have a main ideas lessons calendar, and that would help address the instructional gap. This is important to monitor as a teacher to ensure time is dedicated to the skill of selecting the main idea of an informational text. And this skill should be looked at weekly at the minimum. and monitored by the teacher for students to complete the assignment activities. So this is basically just outlining on your instructional calendar exactly when you will teach lessons or activities around the main idea. We gave this a relevance rating of 5 and a prominence rating of 5 because it is important that the teacher addresses the instructional gaps, looking at it, taking anecdotal notes and writing down exactly when these lessons will be taught to make sure it is being addressed. Artifact support number 2 would also be a teacher artifact, and that would be a lesson reflection. And here I just from Pinterest, I pinned a lesson reflection sheet that could be used, and this is for the teacher to fill out. She could talk about what went well in a main idea activity, or what things that didn't work, and ideas for next time, blocks helpful for this lesson, and pins for this lesson. The instructional gap consideration for next school year is important for Victoria and other teachers to reflect on teaching practices to ensure all students are being adequately supported and adjustments are being made. And that's why we gave it a relevance of 4, because essentially it's not a real artifact because it wasn't actually used because this is a summer course. However, it is important if this would be considered to be used during the school year because, again, teachers are facilitators of students' understanding of this skill, the main idea. Artifact support number 3 is from a wiki, and it talks about options for teaching main idea to students who may present instruction challenges. Although we don't have actual teacher evidence, this list of possible artifacts collected from main idea can be a reference to assist with instructional gaps during the school year. So for instance, if the instructional gap was representation, then like for instance, if it had like sensory differences such as blindness, visual impairment, deafness, using a talking device such as an aviator, or use large print text, raised text, or braille. Use objects and images to represent vocabulary words and answers to questions. Use online dictionaries that will pronounce the words and read the definitions aloud, using matching picture cards with words and their meanings. Add sound effects when appropriate to the informational text that the students are being asked to decide the main idea. These are some accommodations that could be made to close the instructional gap for students who may have these impairments. There's also some strategies listed for expression as well. I mean, the whole wiki could be found at www.wiki.ncscpartners.org, and that's listed right here at the bottom of the page, written in red in the green box. So overall, my team, we found some great artifacts, both student related, and you'll see that more in our group presentation, as well as Leah and I brought some artifacts, mostly teacher driven, that could be used to close the instructional gap for the teacher to reflect to help improve students' understanding of the skill main idea of informational texts. The references from this presentation was Susan Brookhart's article, The Many Meanings of Measure, and the textbook by Venable's textbook, How Teachers Can Turn Data into Action. Until Data Meeting 3, I'll talk to you then. Thank you so much for your time. And I'm looking forward to the improvements and the strategies that we come up with in Data Meeting 3 around the artifacts that we've chosen.